There is another controversy coming in from Assam, where there seems to have been a serious lapse in the way polling was conducted. In one polling booth, 181 votes were cast, even when there were only 90 voters eligible. Ayushman, in fact, is joining me with more details. We're given to understand that there has been a suspension of officials. So the Election Commission has looked into this, inquired about it, investigated, and has now suspended officials for this very serious lapse that seems to have taken place. There is also a detailed explanation that has been given on why they were allowed, although in a polling booth you don't have those voters registered. One can't imagine why they were allowed to vote. The EC officer has now also recommended to the EC that there be a repolling. So there will be repolling in this polling booth as well. It's really serious to see how such a big polling lapse has happened, where just about 90 voters were eligible, but 181 votes were cast. This has also now been picked up by political parties, especially by the left, asking questions on what is then the credibility of elections being held. Let's move on to the other conversation, and what can be termed definitely is an embarrassment to the state government of Maharashtra. Home Minister Anil Deshmukh finally tendered his resignation today on moral grounds after the High Court ordered the CBI probe against him in the allegations levelled against him by the former Mumbai Police Commissioner. Now, why it is even more embarrassing is because this government started off by first defending the cop who is now in the thick of this entire controversy, Sachin Vaze. This government and the Chief Minister defended him until it became clear that he was part of a large extortion racket as well as a murder plot. That was step one of embarrassment. This government continued to be in denial, put the blame on the Mumbai Police Commissioner and shunted him out. He then wrote a letter making massive allegations of 100 crore extortion racket that had been instructed allegedly by Anil Deshmukh directly to the cops of Mumbai Police. Instead of taking that seriously, instead of looking into those allegations against this government, turned around and said, well, Parambir is only speaking up now because we've taken action against him. They called him a BJP pawn. They villainized him rather than taking the allegations seriously and even doing a fair investigation. When the case finally reached the court, it became even more embarrassing, because when it was asked by the High Court, why hasn't there been a police complaint or an FIR and an investigation, why have you come to me directly? One of the two petitioners, not Parambir Singh but the other lawyer, said, I did file a complaint. And then the High Court had to wait for hours because the police wouldn't bring the police station case diary to the court. And it turned out that while a note was made of the complaint, nothing was actually done to investigate this. Massive embarrassment for the Maharashtra government. The BJP now says, why does the buck stop at the Home Minister when the letter by Parambir Singh claimed that even the Chief Minister knew about this? So let's say good evening to the panelists who are joining us right now. Shweta Shalini of the BJP, Anay Joglekar, senior journalist, Ketan Vaidya, political analyst, and Mahesh Tapase, spokesperson for the NCP. Mahesh, did we really have to wait till the High Court stepped in and ordered a CBI probe for the government to show some kind of probity here? Mahesh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. The question to you, did we really have to wait for the High Court to order a CBI probe for the government and the minister to show some probity? Should this not happen on day one, saying, I resign, you do a fair investigation and find the truth out?
First of all, let us understand the moment Mr. Singh, who was the ex-commissioner of police of Mumbai, he wrote to the CM of Mumbai regarding his alleged whatever perception or whatever hearsay that he had regarding Mr. Anil Deshmukh ji. Maharashtra government has instituted an inquiry. Never ever did Anil Deshmukh said that he does not want an inquiry. You may be right in saying that why did he take so long to resign? Because at that time, the prey that Mr. Singh had put in front of the Honorable Supreme Court was first to cancel the transfer orders, which transferred him out of the Mumbai Police Commissioner and into the new position that he was as the Home Guard commandant. That was one of the first prey. The second prey that he was looking for was a CBI inquiry into this entire aspect. The Honorable Supreme Court directed him to the Mumbai High Court. Mumbai High Court, we all know what Mumbai High Court said. And it is on the plea of a second applicant, Jayashree Patil, that the entire thing has come to fore. That probably she has gone and lodged a complaint. But this was after Mr. Parambir Singh wrote the letter to the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Nevertheless, whatever has happened, one thing is for sure, that we as the political party NCP and the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi, we also want to get to the bottom of this entire allegations that have been raised, and we are very confident that Mr. Anil Deshmukh, who has already said that these allegations are made by malicious intentions and he got clean. So we are also very confident. We go by with what Mr. Anil Deshmukh has said. And if
but isn't it true, Mahesh, that you only ordered this so-called one-member committee probe 10 days after this whole issue blew up?
If at all there is any truth in whatever allegations Mr. Parambir Singh ji has made against Anil Deshmukh, I am sure that the CBI will now coming into the picture and wanting to do a preliminary inquiry into the whole episode. Things will take a definite shape in time to come.
Well, Shweta Shalini, this is the demand that the BJP had been making, and now it has happened that the Home Minister has resigned.
Yes, exactly. Better late than never, Karma always catches up. This is the same Home Minister which has said that we would never allow CBI to enter Maharashtra. Now, this is the same CBI which has been ordered to probe him. Nevertheless, I think I need to remind Mahesh ji a couple of things. He's suffering from amnesia because when letter was written... There were two things that was written in the letter. Number one, he actually gave a proof of a chat that he had with somebody about a very, very serious allegation. It is about this allegation that we have been screaming and shouting as an opposition, because it is the explosive that the khaki has been used as a personal weapon for extortion. And this is what he produced in front of the Chief Minister, and also said in his letter that, dear Chief Minister, I had brought to your notice earlier that. Now, our question has been two. One, that if the Home Minister had been sitting on his chair, would any kind of committee, whether it is a one-member committee or a 10-member committee, would the probe be fair, and can the trial ever be just? Second is, we have been wondering why the Chief Minister has not been talking, because when it was the time to defend Sachin Vaze, he actually stood up in the assembly to say, oh, are we talking about Osama bin Laden? And since that time onwards, he has not said a single word. Now, his silence is either acceptance or what exactly is it? Was he part of this entire thing? If he did not agree to the letter, did he come forward to say that, no, you did not talk about this letter? I think what the Honorable High Court has come forward and said is exactly what the people of Maharashtra have been saying for so long. We were saying that you step down, and now all of a sudden NCP and Mahesh ji's party and obviously Anil Deshmukh ji remembers morality. So he writes in the letter that according to morality, I want to step down. Oh, he was asked to step down. He could have, spoken about morality if he would have done it 10 days ago. And the next question hence arises, what was he exactly doing for these 10 days? Was he wiping out all the other evidences like CCTV and CDRs? What exactly was he doing? And now that he stepped down, I would rather say that all those people who have given this money in terms of extortion, they should come forward, and we would as opposition go and collect these people and collect complaints from them so that we can put it across this committee and across CBI.
CBI can do it, I'm sure, very well, extremely equipped to do that, but, doesn't require the opposition party to come forth and do this. Mahesh, I pass a response from you before I take it across to the other two panelists.
I want to thank Dr. Shweta Shalini for, first of all, declaring an amnesia patient. Let me remind her, when the House is in session, the Honorable CM and the Home Minister take daily briefings from the Police Commissioner of Mumbai and the SID Commissioner of Maharashtra on a daily basis. More so when the House is in session. So what was said in defense of Sachin Vaze was the official line which the Maharashtra Home Department or Mumbai Police Commissioner or the SID Commissioner has given to them. Till that time, it was proved beyond doubt that Sachin Vaze's involvement in the entire episode was inevitable and he had to be nabbed. So that is when the entire thing has taken shape. Shweta ji knows very well how briefings are given to the Chief Minister on daily basis, and especially so, more importantly, when the House is in session. So I do not buy her argument that we were trying to defend. The CM and the Home Minister at that point of time were only reiterating what was told to them. See, no CM is an investigative authority. He can order an investigation, but do you think the CM will go and probe anything? You think the Home Minister will go and probe anything?
So who told the Chief Minister that Sachin Vaze was not Osama bin Laden, Mahesh ji? Who gave this briefing?
Okay, but
to the Honorable Chief Minister?
Why did you
that
think,
he is not Osama bin Laden?
See, you have been trying to politicize the entire thing out of proportion,
Okay.
even when the
I'm just asking you. You said what he said was part of a briefing. I'm asking you, who briefed him that he was not Osama bin Laden?
Okay.
I'm asking you, who briefed him he was not Osama bin Laden? Did he say
Okay. No. Oh, yelling over each other.
He said
no yelling over each other. No yelling over each other. Shweta Shalini, your point has been made. Point has been made. I think it's pretty clear what you're trying to say there. Let me bring in the other two panelists as well, because it is embarrassing, Ketan Vaidya, even for the Shiv Sena. The court said this, and let me read out to you the High Court saying it is indeed unheard of and unprecedented that a minister could be so openly accused of wrongdoing and corrupt practices by none other than a senior police officer, attracting wide attention from all. There is certainly a legitimate public expectation of a free, fair, honest and impartial inquiry. That's the bare minimum that anybody has to do. And you cannot do a free and fair and impartial inquiry if the person accused of continues to be a minister. Should the CM not have asked him to resign earlier?
Well, I think earlier it was all the allegations were in the realm of speculations and political allegations. I clearly feel that today the opposition has definitely scored some brownie points because they have been asking for the Home Minister's resignation all this while. However, this resignation doesn't mean admission of guilt. And you quoted the court. I'm glad you did it because it's the same court which also told Parambir Singh that as a senior cop, after he heard of the Home Minister running an alleged extortion racket, then the first thing that he should have done was file an FIR. So I feel that it's not an admission of guilt. The Home Minister's position had become highly untenable as the head of the police force that is at his command, especially when the High Court has ordered a preliminary CBI probe. So hence he has resigned. If he had resigned earlier, then clearly it would have been seen as political surrender by the MVA government. So I feel what I read into it is it's definitely a brownie point for the opposition, but wait for the CBI to investigate, and we should wait for some concrete things to come out of this.
Wait for some concrete things to come out of it, of course, and now the CBI has to look into it, Anay, but for a government, they should have acted much faster. I mean, it's farcical to now say, oh, he's resigning on moral grounds.
Yes, Tanvi, this case has presented
but there are
Maharashtra government in a very bad light. First thing that it was discussed in High Court today, why didn't the Mumbai police register an FIR when Jayashree Patil filed a complaint? Second thing is, when Parambir Singh wrote a letter to Uddhav Thackeray did not respond. He could have ordered an inquiry. He could have asked Home Minister to register FIR. Nothing was done. Then they announced a judicial committee that is a single member, retired High Court judge, Judge Chandiwal. but that committee did not have any judicial power. That committee was not set up under the Commission of Inquiries Act 1952. So that committee was going to decide only in 6 months whether this matter is serious or not. And only when the matter was taken in the High Court, the Home Minister has resigned. It is really a shameful matter. What is important is it is not only allegation made by Parambir Singh. Even this Vinayak Shinde, who is in the NIA custody, apparently a diary has been found with Vinayak Shinde in which it comes out that extortion money was collected from several hotels and bars. So it means that this kind of racket was going on. And it is not only Parambir Singh, also it points out to other senior officers like Rashmi Shukla, who is additional DG of CRPF, and DG of CISF, Subodh Jaiswal. Both were not happy with the way the Home Department was run by Anil Deshmukh. And so it's not only the matter of Parambir Singh, and Maharashtra government, instead of taking a firm position, and most importantly, Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, who heads the cabinet, it is not the NCP minister, but he is the minister of Maharashtra government. And there, Uddhav Thackeray, as a chief minister, has not commented on this matter. This is really puzzling.
Should he not have, Ketan? Should the chief minister at least now not be speaking about it? It just makes it sound as if three parties running in their own directions, doing what they want without being on the same page about this.
Well, I'm sure this chief minister should come out clear and set a precedent. He has set a precedent by asking the home minister to step down, whether the home minister stepped down on his own accord. But as the head of the government, of course, the fact is that the home minister has stepped down, and he should set another precedent by coming out and coming clear on this. However, right now, because the CBI is investigating the matter, it would be wrong for the CM to speak on this. And also, there are earlier instances in the case of a Pankaja Munde alleged sweetmeat scam, or the Prakash Mehta scam, or Sidco land issues, where different ministers of the erstwhile Devendra Fadnavis government were alleged, and there were some strong allegations that the opposition had made, and that was not a single resignation that was sought. So when the opposition cries hoarse about minister resigning late, then they should look at their own past so that things would be set in order.
This is what everybody does. You buy time for as long as you can before you take these action on moral grounds.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, Mahesh, I'm coming to you next. Just let Shweta respond to this.
No, Tanvi, you've got it wrong, because as Ketanji said it, and I want to reply to Ketanji. See, the opposition is there, right there, to make allegations, and that's the job of the opposition, and that's what they did. They had absolutely no proof, and then erstwhile Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis actually busted each and every allegation that they had done. The hardcore truth is, and this is what the council had said for Parambir ji today, that everything mentioned with proof in the letter, it has proofs and it's hardcore facts. Second, please be reminded, Ketan ji, that this is the second resignation of this cabinet, not the first. This is the second resignation of this cabinet, and you have people who are running from pillar to post. Even Anil Deshmukh ji, post his resignation, went to Delhi. He did not go to Varsha. Our question is, who exactly is running this government? And why is it that the Chief Minister is quiet? Is he part of the racket? Is he running it through acceptance? Or exactly what is his silence saying is our question now.
Mahesh Tapase wanted to come in.
I'm told that he's gone to Delhi to seek legal advice from Abhishek Manu Singhvi, and he has every right to do it as an independent citizen of India.
Yeah, we'll wait and see whether the Maharashtra government, and Anil Deshmukh both approach the Supreme Court, and with what legal strategy. But Mahesh wanted to make a point. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind Shweta that at that ministers, we gave proofs in the House, and in the House, rather than constituting a committee to verify the claims, Devendra Fadnavis said that they are all innocent. This is on record in Maharashtra. So here at least we are giving a fair trial. A retired judge, now the CBI asked to probe into the alleged allegations and all. So let's not try to play
but
the
tell me this, Mahesh, tell me this. When the court asked,
as your party sits. Let's not get into there. But I want to assure the viewers and the citizens of Maharashtra in this case that whatever is the truth will come out. Now we have a new Home Minister, Mr. Dilip Valse Patil. I'm sure you will see the active policing that all that we have been talking about and watching about, looking forward to. Let us see what comes out. We are also eagerly waiting the outcome of the CBI inquiry that is about to come.
No, but here is what my question is. Anay wants to come in, but here is what my question is. 1 minute, please. Shweta, 1 minute. Mahesh, how do you explain the fact that when a lawyer went to the police station to file a complaint, it wasn't even taken seriously? It wasn't even properly put in the case diary of the police station. Now, how are people going to have any faith when you say you will do a fair investigation, where at every stage in this case, from the month of February, we have been seeing attempts to cover up the entire thing. We were told that Anil Deshmukh wasn't even in the city when these alleged meetings took place, and all of that has also gone, haywire.
When Advocate Jayashree Patil, she approached the Malabar Hill police station, a station entry was made and it was referred to the Mumbai Police Commissioner's office for a legal opinion. That is also there on record. So it's not that nothing was given to her. But yes, there was a time gap, there was a time delay, and things have suddenly taken such a big turn over the last couple of days that from Supreme Court to High Court and High Court to again, I do not know, lower court or maybe not, but whatever has happened, it has happened too fast. So as far as Jayashree Patil's contention is there that she was not given any this thing, there was an entry made. Maybe that entry or whatever legal opinion which the Malabar Hill police station wanted, they did not get in time. This is also on record. It is, the noting is there in the Mumbai CP's office. I'm sure Anvay Jogdekar would be knowing about it.
Anay.
There are 2 points. In other cases, the allegations are made by either opposition parties or based on some report. In first time in the history of Maharashtra, I remember a sitting commissioner of police who was just transferred and who is a rank of Director General DG. He has made allegations and he has written a letter to Chief Minister. And my second point is, even the NCP chief Sharad Pawar has said on record in the press conference that this is a serious matter and this matter should have been investigated by a person, by a senior cop who has a standing, who has a moral authority, and he suggested Julio Ribeiro's name. But Julio Ribeiro refused it, saying that this whole issue is so murky. And after his refusal, the next day Sharad Pawar says that the matter is not serious because Anil Deshmukh was quarantined because of COVID, and then it came out that he actually came to Mumbai. So it shows that there was something that was happening.
Well,
and,
let's see what comes out of it. We don't know what all happened. Let's see what comes out of it and what CBI finds. CBI has 15 days to decide whether there is enough material to then file an FIR and carry out a proper investigation. Right now, the court has only told them to do a prelim probe within 50 days to decide if there is merit to then file an FIR. Thank you to the panelists who are joining us. But viewers, if you talk about moral grounds and morality and probity of a government or a minister, well, then that should have happened on day one when these allegations were made. The government at that point should have turned around and said, we order an investigation, an independent judicial investigation into these allegations because we take them seriously, rather than maligning the image of a top cop and buying time. 16 days on, it's the court that has ordered a probe, forcing the minister to submit his resignation. Completely out of time. Thank you so much for joining us.